Super Smash Brothers is my favorite game series. Brawl would be my favorite right now, of course, because it's the latest rendition. Of course, I always go back to the N64 version. And everyone I talk to on the forums, people who like Nintendo, people who like Super Smash Brothers, would love to see an action figure line based on Super Smash Brothers because all the Nintendo characters are there. You could have like the items that you see in the game and blah blah blah. Well, the reason that it hasn't happened yet is because the licensing rights alone on a figure line like that would be really, really expensive. I guess in order to have the right to produce Zelda figures, it's somewhere along the lines of $25,000 just to begin to use the license, and then Nintendo has to approve of whatever you make, and that can also be a really tough process. But there is some Super Smash Brothers merchandise. Now, the only people that can really pull this off is Nintendo, and Nintendo has been able to make figures in the past, so the only person that would be able to do it is Nintendo. Nintendo, come out with a full line of action figures for Super Smash Brothers Brawl. That would make my day. But anyway, until then, I have to show you a couple of things that came out. There is a like a school supply kit that came out in Japan. There's like a folder and a shitajiki, which is a pencil board. All the kids need them over in Japan. And I think there was like a ruler and some other paper products. But here's the stuff that I decided to import, since it is expensive to import this stuff. It's a tin with all the characters on it. And if you'll notice, the only character on this tin that does not have merchandise released for him is right there, Captain Falcon. I don't know if we'll ever see a Captain Falcon figure. It would be nice to see a Captain Falcon figure, but F-Zero hasn't been really popular. The anime kind of bombed, so not a whole lot's been made. Now this is a different scene. Oh, I'm sorry. There is one other character on here, Ness. Ness does not have a figure, sadly. He has a keychain. I don't know if you could really count that. I guess you can, because like Captain Falcon has 0. I mean, he has his he has the Blue Falcon. I have a couple of figures of the Blue Falcon. But as figures go, it's, you know, Captain Falcon and Ness. So here's the same scene on a little pencil sharpener. So that's kind of the theme of this set. And then going along those same lines, here is the Super Smash Brothers N64 pencil sharpener, electric pencil sharpener, and these are kind of popular to have in Japan. You'll see a lot of characters that have pencil sharpeners because they can have them at their desk or whatever. And this is my signature on the forums right now, because that was just, I was going to do something based off the pencil, because actually this keychain is my avatar with all the Nintendo characters that I collect. And that's a really nice keychain, actually. It doesn't seem that nice, but it's kind of like a gel something or other, and just a rare keychain. There's Kirby on the back. And Lawson is the company, 1999, Nintendo HAL Laboratory, Creatures Inc. and Game Freak Inc. And it says Nintendo All-Star all along the edge there. But let's open this pencil sharpener. Because I was going to do something with the with the pencil tin for my signature, but then it's right here with all the items, and I'm just like, well, I'll just cheat and scan that in and it'll look nice. Here's the pencil sharpener. So you just stick the pencil in here, obviously. Shavings come out here. Nothing special. Aside from it being one of the only pieces of merchandise that have all of the Nintendo characters from one Super Smash Brothers game on it. I haven't seen much for Super Smash Brothers Melee. I mean, basically there's like a soundtrack, and that's about it. And of course there's more characters that don't have merchandise, like all the Fire Emblem characters that are there. I'm really surprised because those are some really popular characters. Marth and Roy and Ike from Brawl, and people flock to those characters because they're cool and they're easy to use. They're good range characters, and yet they don't have figures on the market. Those that sell, Marth and Ike certainly. So if you're happen to be watching this video, you happen to make toys, see what the Fire Emblem license would cost from Nintendo and make some figures. I'm sure they'd make you some pretty decent money, and collectors would be happy. So that's Super Smash Bros. N64 merchandise. Fingers crossed for more. Thanks. I remembered as I shut the camera off that there is Super Smash Bros. Melee merchandise worth talking about. A set of pins. And the characters that are featured in these pins: Pikachu, try to get the glare off there, Kirby, Link, and Mario. And these figures, you could get these, sorry, these figures. These pins were only available, see the little JR logo up there? For some reason someone blacked out the logo on my Link one, but these pins were only available by riding the monorail system, the JR monorail system in Japan, and by going to certain stops and filling in. I'm not really sure how it works. I think it's like either they're giving them out as you get the stops and you mark them on your little sheet, or you have to mail in or something like that. But I think it's just a promo they release as you fill up the sheet. And you present your little sheet with all your stamps from all the stops, and then you get your little pins. And JR has been doing this for a long time. If you look up JR pins on Yahoo Japan auctions, they'll have a ton of pins from a ton of different series, and people collect these, and it's just great over there. So it says 2002 on there, so that coincides with the release of the game. So these were, and I've only seen the 4. You'd think they'd have like an Ice Climbers or a Fox or a Ness or something, but I've only seen the 4. Fox or Mario, Pikachu, Kirby, and Link. So there's those from Melee.